Hi, my name is Andy Smith, and this is how I treated my PTSD at Aviv. I've been in the Army quite a bit longer than she had at that time, even though we're only a year apart in age.
So we finally had a date in February. This was 1990, and we got married in May. We did do 4 years back in Europe, that was before we had children, so we had a blast.
Yeah. And then we had children.
Then we came back and had children, and then he did Bosnia, and East Timor, and Afghanistan.
Finally Afghanistan.
And then we both retired in 2007. Started seeing these seminars, particularly Catherine Parker's, the nutritionist. That's where I started and attended some of those. And then the PTSD, Rogers PTSD class for Andy. And then we went to one of the panels with everybody on it. And then we just said, let's look into this some more. And then we met Kelly, and she was our ambassador. And yes, there we decided that we would do it for the PTSD and the healthy aging and the healing from surgery.
Yeah, because Beth, 10 days before we started, she had a total right knee replacement, and I was scheduled for surgery immediately when we were going to stop, like the next day after the last dive. We had just amazing results in that. Looking into this program with the increased blood flow to the brain that the program promises, that's the malady that literally killed both my parents. As my mother grew older, she had more difficulty and cognitive abilities. She said, "Oh, I'm just having a series of small strokes." Well, that's because the blood is not getting to your brain, and my mother, being ornery, was not taking the proper medications and not taking care of herself. And it finally took her life. And she didn't know who I was the last 3 years that she lived. And it's just heartbreaking to see your mother like that. And then my father, he lived a few years longer, but again, they had to do carotid surgery on him and trying to increase the blood flow to his brain, but it initially just took him. And so thinking back that, okay, here's both my parents, this is something that Aviv specifically addresses, okay, that's what they target. It's what killed my parents. So, hey, I got a clue. Let's go do this. This should help.
He's not as angry. He's not. He's short-tempered, probably from the PTSD, and I think that's eased off. I really do. He's just more relaxed. It's great. Yeah.
As I told Dr. Shai when we started this is an investment in our life. Mm-hmm. It's not just the money. It's an investment of, if you want to get better, if you want the program to pay off for you, you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, then it is a waste of time. But if you do it, you will have positive results. To go back to the beginning, we were also very fortunate that Dr. Shai was here from Israel, and he did our
intake.
Our intake. You can see I had some minor issues. I mean, I never make a big deal out of this, but he took my hand and held on and says, "We're going to make this right." And I mean, he had a grip on me. He said, "We're going to make this right. If you do this program, you'll be better." And he wasn't lying.